What's going on, guys? Pdaaaawg here, accompanied by TheAireaidLord and Sandman for the first episode of Fightin Talks in flippin' I don't even know how long. Literally, I think it has been at least a year, but we're here for good reason, and I had to get reinforcements for the topics at hand that we're going to be addressing. And with the power of XSplit, I'll be able to show you a lot more than what I could previously. So, first of all, this video it was released by, I believe it was Capcom Fighters, I think, is the channel. I'm not sure, but basically they released this video, and for the first time ever, they're actually detailing beta changes for Ultra Street Fighter 4. They're not like set in stone yet, but you'll see in the videos. So basically, we've all been playing fighting games for different numbers, for different periods of time. And I guess we might as well talk about that now. Like Sandman has been playing this game flipping since you were like what 2, I think.
Yeah, I've been playing since 1995.
He was playing since he was in the womb. He was playing in the womb.
How old would you have been then?
5.
5.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
he was in the womb.
I've been playing since what 2010, I believe. So yeah, I started playing in September of 2010, the 10th of September, just to be really specific. 2010. I don't know how the heck I remember that, but nevertheless. And then Chris is like the newcomer into Street Fighter. Been playing it since February, I believe.
Yeah, February 27th, 2013.
This year as well.
Yes, of this year. Yeah, it was actually thanks to these two. It's there's nobody else actually I really bought the game for. It was because of these two. Both Pete and Kyle helped me train and showed me a whole bunch of cool things about the game, and now I actually understand a lot more than I did. It's kind of funny. Those videos of me practicing with Sandman for the first time, at me ever starting the game, is still up. Now you can see. Now you can see my new series, Super Space Fighter 4, where I go on ranked, and you can see how much I've improved. It's pretty
Dude,
crazy.
I remember. What do you kick?
Awkward sense.
Oh.
You gotta love them. No, what I was gonna say, I was just gonna like move on a bit, but no, I was also gonna say that if you go over to my channel, or obviously you're at my channel, so yeah, duh. If you head over to if you go from like oldest to newest, you'll see some of my first fighting game videos, and oh, they're ugly. As a matter of fact, you will see some of the very first matches I ever had against Cal back in I think it was March of 2011. We played our first set of matches. That was pretty.
Yes.
God damn.
That was incredible.
That was pretty fun. And obviously Sandman's has been playing Street Fighter. You've been playing Vanilla, been playing Super, been playing our AE, been playing AE 2012, and now we're playing Ultra. So quite a whirlwind he's been having. But I mean, at least now you'll get 3 different perspectives. You'll get one from like the hardcore lover of Street Fighter that's been playing it for literally over a decade now, almost 2 decades. Flip, man, can you imagine? I didn't realize that. Yeah, 2 decades of Street Fighter.
Jesus Christ.
So old.
And then you get experience from me, who probably jumped on like when the most common people would jump on. Well, like people would jump on a vanilla, but I jumped on a super. So I mean, you'll get probably the most common opinion from me, and then from Chris you'll get the brand new. Like Chris hasn't experienced any new version of Street Fighter 4 yet. You know, whereas I've had 2 new versions of Street Fighter 4. Sandman's had whole new games of Street Fighter. To experience from. So I mean, it'll be interesting to get all these perspectives. So without further ado, I'm gonna play the specific part that Combo Fiend talks about in the video, and the first thing that they introduced is Double Ultra, and I'm gonna let Combo Fiend explain what that entails.
First up of the new battle systems is Ultra Combo Double. What this is a new mechanic that allows you to play both Ultra simultaneously at the sacrifice of the max damage an Ultra would do alone. Although it does less damage, which may be adjusted through fan feedback, there's definitely a new layer of strategy that has been added, so we look forward to seeing what you guys can come up with.
Okay, so that's the first thing. I'm not sure if you two heard that, but
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's especially good. So basically, he just talks about how in the Ultra menu you'll get to pick a third Ultra, which is less damage but you get both your Ultras at the same time. So if you were to play someone like I don't know, let's pick the most generic option. Let's pick Ryu. So say if you were to play Ryu, you can either have full damage Mitsu Hadouken, which does about 500 damage, I believe. Yeah, full damage Mitsu Shoryuken that does 500 damage, or you can have both Ultras, which will probably be about 250 to 300 damage each. But you get both of them at your, so you can get an easily comboable one. You got an excellent anti-air one, but obviously the downside is that they're both really low damage, and some cards just don't benefit from it at all. So, what are your 2 initial reactions to that to hearing that change, basically?
I'll let Kyle go first.
Like it's obviously situational, so it depends on the character you're using, of course. Like for instance, Ryu, like you were saying, I don't think picking both ultras will be very necessary, to be honest. Like unless they improve Ultra 2 to give it a bigger hitbox, like for an anti-air, like to make it even a bit more, bit more accessible to use. Like I think it'll be a bit pointless for the likes of Ryu, but for the likes of Zangief, a character like that, where he's got an incredible Ultra 2 and a really good Ultra 1, I think you will be picking both Ultras then if it's only halved. I think that would be...
Yeah, because then whenever you do the mix-up on the incoming, if you sweep someone hit with an SPD, you green hand, are you going to... If you jump, you get Ultra. If you stand there, you get Ultra,
Exactly.
It's like an ultimate lose-lose, so for the
That's a good
opponent.
point, yeah.
But I mean, I guess, like in a little bit, we'll talk about our characters and if we'll be implementing this change, basically. If we're going to be using the double ultra mechanic in our characters. I play 4 characters mainly. Chris plays 1 optionally, 2 or 3 like side characters, I guess. And then Sandman, well, I think you would have you'd have 1 definite main, I would say, and you also have like a stockpile of like different other characters that you'd be using. But I mean, most of your characters are charge characters. Pretty much all my characters are motion characters, and Chris kind of has a mixture of the 2 of them.
Yeah.
So I guess you'll get an interesting perspective of that. But yeah, Chris, what was your initial reaction to hearing this double ultra?
It was well. First of all, if you have 2 ultras picked and you do, let's say, Seth's Ultra 1. Does your ultra bar doesn't refill to give you the ultra 2? It's just
you have to choose between the 2 of them, pretty much. At least that's what we don't know, but that's pretty much what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah, in the video, it shows like instead of like a green or purple bar, it shows like a red bar to insinuate that he's got both. For in general, I mean, it's just like Kyle said, it's situational. For a character, well, I'll leave it for a little while. We'll speak about it, but just off of the top of my head, a character like Honda, just from my point of view, having both ultras, I mean, I don't know if it's that, like, if it matters that much. However, I know that they increased the hit, like, they increased the range of Ultra 2 for Honda, so I do know that maybe that could be a reason to pick both ultras, perhaps. But I do know that Ultra 1 is more of the common one. It's more of the charge one, but I mean, it's purely situational for a lot of these characters. Some characters, there's no reason to choose both ultras at all, and some characters, there's enough diversity, like you just mentioned Zangief. One's anti-air, one's just ground, so it really confuses your opponent. So in that regard, I'd say it's good, but some characters, it's just pointless, and you'll probably find that as we go through a lot of these changes.
I guess my reaction to it, I quite enjoy this change, just because it'll add a lot more variety. You'll see a lot more characters maybe being used differently because they have this double ultra mechanic. And so some characters that may normally be sitting around, they may be able to be a bit more active because they've got the unpredictability of both ultras. Which one are they going to do? In that their kind of case. Obviously, yes, it is situational for the most part, and like, I'm going to assume that at least like 60% of the cast definitely won't be using this. Like, it's out of the question for them. But I mean, for the other 40%, it'll be very interesting to see what people are more prone to do, and then it'll be interesting to see, just how people can implement this. And you're probably going to see a whole pile of like, could you imagine the option selects that people could come up with? Like, I hope Desk gets in on this, and he can do like double ultra option selects and stuff. Like, because I remember he would do like option selects with like 2 or 3 different special moves at once. Like crazy stuff like that. Could you imagine what like this could do?
But I don't know, like, what I'd like, instead of, like, adding, like, the double ultra, I would have rather seen...
A third ultra?
Yeah, third ultra.
I think that's what a lot of people would have preferred, like, bringing about the third strike where you had 3 ultra, or 3 supers then, having a third ultra.
Like, I think that would have been much better, man. Like, it would have... I don't know, like, instead of, like, making, like, a usual one where it's, like, anti-air and then something else, like, add something else brand new where, like, you could pick an ultra what gives you, like... 2 more meters or something like that. Something
or what, like
Makudo
Super, where it like, gives you a damage boost and stuff.
Yeah.
See, well, I think they were trying to go with that. Ultras. Yeah, I was about to say, I think they were going with that for like Jury's Ultra, where it was like, it isn't an attack as such, it was more just a battle state. and so she could just go ham on someone. She could pretty much go like cross Tekken mode on someone, on that game. So I mean, I could see where they come from. And
I
I'd also
understand
justify
what
you put there.
Kyle's. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I understand what Kyle's saying. I think it's more innovation that Kyle was probably looking for, if I'm correct, from the Ultra Street Fighter 4. Because if you think about it, all they're doing is taking pre-existing Ultras that have existed in the game for a set period of time and saying, okay, the new feature is you can use both of them at the same time, but they do less damage than they used to if you use both of them. If they had implemented a third Ultra, that would have shown, oh look, we've put thought into thinking of new Ultras for these characters in new ways that it goes up against each character in each situation and how it changes the game. Sure, this changes the game, but innovation-wise, it's kind of like, I mean...
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
they have to make we know they have to like make up new ultras for the new characters that are coming in. You got the
True.
5 characters, you got 4 of them. Obviously, the 4 characters, some of them are going to be recycled from Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Probably the supers are all going to be like the Street Fighter Cross Tekken super, or like like the little I think it is a super in that game. It isn't like an ultra or anything. They're probably going to recycle that for a super, but then they're going to have to come up with 2 brand new ultras for those 5 characters. The other one, obviously, we still don't know. And we'll probably do another Fightin Talk once we find out who this mysterious 5th character is. But I mean, they're gonna have to come up with all these new ultra ideas, and so we know that they're currently working on ultras. So obviously the question does hold: if you're gonna make new ultras, why not just make new ultras for everyone? And it's only one new ultra, so I mean, how bad can it be? It took you 1 year to make one new ultra for everyone, from vanilla Street Fighter 4 to Super Street Fighter 4. Surely it could take you, the game's going to be in development for even longer than that, judging by an article that we were reading and we're going to show you later on in this video. We know that they're going to have a lot more time, so why don't they do it? But I guess is what we're given with.
See why they didn't go that route. I can see why, because there's only a limited amount of moves. You got to try and adapt the character's certain moves into the Ultra. I can see why it's hard to do it, but surely bringing up something brand new couldn't be that difficult. You know what I mean? It wouldn't take that long to come up with something brand new, like a butt splash fucking Ultra for Honda or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's coming
if I was thinking of a third Ultra for Honda, I would definitely do it's something called the 1,000 hand slap, and it'd just be Honda hitting you repeatedly the 100 hand slap and a cinematic, and that'd be it.
Yes. 100 hands, FBC, 1,000 hands.
I know.
I can't think of one for.
Bison would get Fireball Ultra from Alpha 3. Of course, once Bison gets his Fireball.
Oh yeah, Fireballs.
Yeah, could you imagine a Bison got
Fireball?
Oh
yeah, you were telling me the other day about this, weren't you? About how he used to have a Fireball.
Yeah, Bison had a Fireball in Street Fighter Alpha.
But that would go completely against his character, though, because he's not that kind of character. For him to whip out that, it's like, what?
Well, you never know.
It'd be like, oh my god.
I mean, Abel was given a charge move in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, so I mean, anything can happen. Which, by the way, that was
Alpha should have just been called Street Fighter on cocaine.
Exactly.
Well, that's why I didn't understand when I never knew playing Bison, because as Pete said, I started late into the cycle of Street Fighter. I never knew that Bison's Ultra 2 input used to be quarter circle forward, and in my opinion, that goes against how his character is built. It makes more sense for him to have a charged Ultra 1 and 2, because his character is built around charging moves. So to all of a sudden, Ultra 2 is quarter circle forward. It's weird because you could be walking forward and do the motion. Now you can't. It's just, I don't know, it didn't feel like it was right for his character, although it probably made it easier for people to spam the hell out of it. But
yeah, it's like Chun-Li in Cross Tekken.
Oh jeez, yeah, she's a nightmare in Cross Tekken. But yeah, no, for Bison, I guess it was because he was a rushdown character, and so him having a quarter circle, which is obviously easier to do, and you can do it when you're walking forward, they probably thought, okay, it makes a bit more sense. And there was a lot of uproar from Super to AE whenever they changed the command. A lot of people were saying, oh, this is the end of Bison, as they always do, The people were saying that, Akuma's going to die in this version, which he probably is, but I mean, that's understandable. But other people were saying that Gen's going to die and stuff in this transition, when really, I doubt it. If anything, he's going to get more buffs, because just
when he took Seth's stretchy arms away, his jump back fierce, these were all Seth's finished.
Yeah,
and now he's
exactly.
just incredible.
And now he's the best. He's barely even changed since then, and people were saying, oh, he's the worst character, or he's the best character in the game, please nerf him,
Yeah.
So, alright, so I guess before we finish up in this double thing, we'll talk about our characters and if we're gonna be doing it, and if not, why not, and if so, then why. So I guess we'll start with Chris, because Chris doesn't have as many as us, I guess.
Yeah. So my main is M Bison. That's it. All right. Anyway. I don't know. I mean, for a situation like, there are some times when I'll be in a situation of, I'm about to lose, and I'll say, "Oh, look, I have full ultra meter. I should I should try to, like, you two fight me quite frequently on live, so you'll see me like just sitting there charging an ultra, and you'll be like, I know he's charging an ultra. If it's ultra 2, which I've been choosing, I'm mainly ultra 2 for Bison, so they usually, just jump, or it's easy to avoid it when you know it's coming. So I'd say no. I don't think I would, and I would probably stick with Ultra 2 for Bison like I've been doing so far. And the reason being is because there's really no point. Like, Ultra 1, I don't know that many situations where it's the greatest Ultra to use. Like, when I first started playing as him, I used Ultra 1, and I got into a situation where it was like whoever was fighting me was easy to block. You could chip somebody out with it, but it was just easy to block, and it could be easily punished as well. Same can kind of be said of Ultra 2, but Ultra 2 is mainly to punish fireballs. It has a purpose, and it can also punish jumping in certain moves. Like, I just uploaded a video of a Pdaaaawg player, and I was able to time his what is it? The charge punches he does. I was able to time that and punish it with Ultra 2. So Ultra 2 is way more effective for Bison. So because of that, I don't see a point of having both Ultras. Like, I would never use Ultra 1. I'd always go for Ultra 2. Only in some very rare circumstances would I ever consider using Ultra 1. Like, maybe if I'm throwing light kicks or light punches, maybe I might splice it up if I have Ultra 1 selected and all of a sudden just activate it or do the move and catch someone off guard thinking I'm just going to keep throwing low moves or just low attack moves. So that's why I would do it. I don't see much of a point in choosing 2 Ultras. And again, if I do hit the Ultra, if I have both selected, it's not going to do any damage. So I don't see why I would. It doesn't make sense for my character. Now, for the optional characters that Pete said I played, the other characters I choose every once in a while, Ryu and Akuma. I practice a little bit with Ryu. Akuma, I somewhat know how to play as. Same thing with Akuma. I think his Wrath of the Raging Demon is way more effective. Ultra 2 for Akuma, I mean, it has its uses. I never use it when I play Akuma, but I have seen people like Tokido. I've seen him use it a couple of times during a couple of matches from Evo. But, I don't know. I'd say stick with Ultra 1 for an Akuma player. And then for Ryu, I know Pete will probably have a lot more to say about this, but just briefly, in my opinion, again, I still think in a match, you want to win. So if it's good for mix-ups, but for a character like Ryu, I'd say stick with 1 Ultra, especially for FADCing into like Ultra 1. It's way more effective. For Ultra 2, it's an anti-air Ultra, but again, you're sacrificing a lot of, you could be doing a lot more, hit point damage to somebody than you would have, if you chose those both Ultras. So those are my opinions on it. I wouldn't do it probably for any of the characters that I choose. And
yeah, I've got a question for Chris right now.
Yeah.
About Bison's first Ultra. If they made the hitbox bigger and made it a better value as an anti-air, would you start using it then?
Wait, did you say as an anti-air?
Yeah, if you started using it more as an anti-air. Like, if the hitbox got bigger.
Kind of like Honda's Ultra 1, where he can use it as an anti-air.
Oh, I might consider it. I don't know if they'll implement that change, but I might consider it because it's usually, the startup is just like, it's the knee presses. So, I mean, if the hitbox was bigger and it could catch people jumping in and it was a way to, like, punish in that sense, then I would definitely consider it if they made that change. But as it stands, I don't think I would.
Alright, so, Sandman, which one of us wants to go first? Do you want me to go next? And
Yeah,
you can just
I'll let you
about
go.
whatever card
Yeah,
you
you
want.
go.
Okay. The 4 cards I play are Ryu, as you can see in the picture. Ryu, Zangief, Seth, and Rose, so I'll go in that order. Ryu, I definitely agree with what Chris has to say. Like, I would definitely go with the one where if you know it's gonna hit, then go for it. You know, it's like one of those ones where even then Ultra 2, I don't really use that much. Like I only use Ultra 2 either if I'm like messing around and I really don't need to use Ultra 1, or I'm against a character or a player that likes to jump all the time and then I can just Ultra 2 him every time, you know, and get, you know, much more damage in a heavy punch dragon punch. But then for double Ultra then pretty much I'm getting both of them, but like could you imagine like one of Ryu's general combos to go into the Ultra 1 would be like jab jab uppercut FADC Ultra 1, and as it stands it does pretty good damage. You could probably kill someone with it if they've got low enough health. But I mean if you've got like half of that damage, then what's the point? Like there's barely
And
any
doesn't
point
it
in burning the
scale?
2 meters.
Doesn't
Yeah,
the
and it
damage
scales,
scale?
An
Yeah.
FADC in itself scales. It counts as a thing of like 2 hits of a combo, an FADC. Therefore, it scales so much that it'll barely do more damage than if you just combo it into a fierce and an uppercut. You know, why would you burn the double meter and then burn your ultra? Burn both your ultras, as a matter of fact, if you have if you have the double ultra combo, whatever they're calling it. You know, then what would be the point? So definitely just stick with one ultra there. Zangief, this is the one that everyone's saying is gonna be broken. Everyone's saying Zangief's gonna be top tier because of this change, but I have this and obviously, it's probably best for Zangief. I would almost argue that Zangief. No, I would say there's one other character in this game that benefits better than Zangief in this change. And I'm gonna say who it is in a little bit. But first of all, Zangief, like definitely, people have been saying. I think we were saying. I'm not sure. I don't think we were recording at the time, but we were saying that Zangief's Ultra 2 or Zangief's Double Ultra means that if he was to hit you with like a combo and like a knockdown combo, like obviously in Ultra they said that his green hand's gonna knock down again. Even more reason, you know, why you would use Double Ultra, because then you'll go for the mix-up. You can either do previously if you had Ultra 1, you could either do like SPD or Ultra 1 on Wake Up and stuff, like on someone else's Wake Up for big damage. If you have Ultra 2, then you have the risk of, oh, you can SPD, but then if they jump, you can hit them with Ultra 2. If you've got both of them, then that means that if you get up, if you stand still, you could get hit by Ultra 1. If you jump or backdash or do a special move, then chances are you might get hit with Ultra 2. You know, you have no idea, and both ways means that you're gonna get hit by pretty big damage. Obviously, it's not gonna be like the 400 or so that you get hit by an Ultra in itself, but you'd still get hit by pretty big damage, you know. But something that Aquasilk said, and I would probably agree with him, is that there really isn't much point in using that in matches where you know that one of the ultras is going to hit. So if you were to fight against, say, like, I don't know, like, say for example, like a Kami or something that likes to jump, like a character that likes jumping, then basically why go with the double ultra when you can just get a really good damage Ultra 2 off it? Or even if you're fighting players that you know like to jump back or backdash or do moves on Wake Up, then you might as well go with the Ultra 2, get the big damage, and then it'll scar them from ever jumping again. So I mean,
Yeah, you could say that with like a dive kick character as well, couldn't you? Like Rufus or Yon or Yang.
yeah, so if you like to like dive kick or something, then you get a free Ultra 2 and it's huge damage from it. So I would say it's situational. In some matches, I would almost go with the double Ultra, but I mean for other matches, like for a match like from Sagat, I would almost go with the double Ultra because it's not as powerful as the Ultra 1, but I mean it still runs the risk that, oh, if you take a uppercut, there's a chance you might get Ultra 2'd by it. So you know, it's those there kind of cases. But I mean, for the most part, I'll probably be sticking with Ultra 2. But it's definitely one of the characters where picking double Ultra will benefit him greatly. Seth?
I have a question for Pete, real quick,
Go
before
ahead.
you move on. What is your opinion on Oni for both ultras?
Oni's Ultras kind of work the same, I think. Like, Oni's Ultras kind of do the same thing, almost. Except for the fact that Ultra 2 can be used as an anti-air. But I mean, that's about it. So I don't play Oni, so I don't really know much about it. But I mean, one of the ultras is a Fireball Ultra that you can combo into, similarly to Ryu's, and the other one is one that is like an instant. It's like a cinematic, but it can work. It's almost like a Metsu Shoryuken. That's almost what I would say. The Oni's ultras are kind of similar to Ryu's, where they both have like one ultra is very good to be comboed into and it does good enough damage. The all ultra works as almost like an anti-air primarily, but it can work in those kind of juggle situations. But I would almost just say stick with whatever Ultra you want to go with. In Oni's case, Ultra 2 can be better than Ultra 1, because his Ultra 1 isn't as good as Ryu's, because it doesn't go as far, or you know, it goes a lot slower than Ryu's and stuff, but I mean, I would still say, once again, just similarly to Ryu's, treat the double Ultra like it would treat Ryu, I would say. Seth is another one that's very useful for him, I would say. Ultra 2 you generally just use to end combos with, and so that's just like added damage. So if you were to do like like a standing fierce into the lightning kick, or whatever you want to call it. But I'm not going to pronounce that name. But I mean, if you do that, yeah, the Hyakutus Tagzu or whatever the flipping heck it's called. But then you do that, and then you juggle with the Ultra 2. Now that in and of itself doesn't do that much damage, but I mean, if you were to get double Ultra, then it's once again similar to the Zangief thing, where if you jump, I can hit you with Ultra 1. Doesn't do as much damage, and even then, his Ultra 1 didn't do that much damage as it is. But I mean, it's still that mind game. So in that other kind of case, just up to your preference. I would almost say that in a similar case to Zangief, where use both of them situationally. Like if you're fighting against a certain character that likes to jump again, like for Zangief's case, another grappler might be very useful for those two Ultras, because Ultra 2 can also be used in the same way as Ultra 1 in terms of an anti-air. You can do Ultra 2 whenever someone jumps in and they can get hit by it. Granted, they don't have an air tatsu, of course, but I mean, you would do that there kind of stuff, and once again, if you're really confident that someone's going to do something, I was always an Ultra 2 Seth. I'm moving on to Ultra 1 now. And then you never know, like if some matches I might just pick up. For example, E-Honda I might use both Ultras against. Because if, you know, it fights off against a lot of stuff. I can get extra damage on a combo, and I can punish like a headbutt or a butt slam or something with Ultra 1. You know, so it's one of those kind of cases. And finally, Rose is the character I think benefits the most from this change, and I'll stand by that. I think Rose I think you'd be crazy not to use this change of Rose. Okay? Now, I know that sounds quite ludicrous, but I think that this is why I think so. Ultra 2 for Rose, which is obviously the Soul Satellites, is you don't use that Ultra for damage ever. You only use that for protection. So you would backdash and you would do the Ultra or whatever, and then you dash forward and then you go into whatever you want. But never do you use that and then say, oh, I hope I get like 300 damage off this. You're always going just for... That's why most people... Well, I do. Like, Gutex doesn't, but I think he's crazy for not doing it. But he always likes to activate the orbs very late into the match when he has more meter. But I prefer to do it as soon as you get it, because then you have the chance of getting it twice in one match, and that can be amazing. So, I mean, I use Ultra 2 for not for damage, but for situations, and to like get some tricky, ambiguous cross-ups and whatnot. So, that's why Ultra 2, I think, won't be changed at all. But if you use the double Ultra, then not only do you get pretty much the same thing with Ultra 2, where you can just activate it anytime you want, you get a good situation of it, but then you get a really good punish of Ultra 1, especially if they're talking about increasing the range of the Ultra, the range of her scarf whenever she throws it out. And so you get a really good punish, which can punish fireballs, it can punish like whiff jump-ins or whiff whatever, you know, so you get that. Albeit it doesn't do as much damage as regular, but you still get a better punish than flipping, crouching medium punch into Soul Drill, you know. You still get a much better punish than that. So that's why I think that this change, I'll probably be using double Ultra for all of Rose's matches, to be honest. You know, and I'll stand by that whenever the game comes out, unless they flipping nerf it to high heaven. But that's why I think for my characters then, one character I'll definitely be using this for. Two characters is very situational, but I might use it every once in a while, and then the other character I'll just probably not. So those are my characters. What do you guys think about that? What character do you think benefits the most from this change? I've just said what mine is, so.
Zangief is an obvious one, of course. Like everyone's agreed with. T-Hawk as well. I think he's because he's getting buffed to the high heavens. I think he's gonna be good with it now. With that, it's basically pretty much the same as Geef's, isn't it? Like with the anti-air and the grapple.
Yeah. His anti-air arguably isn't as good as Geef because it only goes one direction. That's 45
I suppose it's
degrees
only to stop cross-ups and stuff, but it's still pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's terrible.
Yeah, especially
and,
with
I think another one as well is Adon. Because they're giving him better properties now on his Ultra 2, to use as an anti-air. I think you could use it all the time now, it's double Ultra, because you can stop anti-airs and you can go through fireballs with Ultra 1. So I think he's going to be pretty ridiculous now.
That's actually a pretty good point. I never thought about it. I still stand by the fact that I think Rose is better just because of the situation of Ultra 2. But yeah, Adon I also think I would almost say Adon might be the second best for that. In that case.
Yeah, I never realized. Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Rose, Pete, because I never thought about that. I was like, oh yeah, because I've been in matches, both ranked and in when I, fight either of them playing Rose, where, they'll use the strategy of the Soul Satellites, but then there's also the people who use Ultra 1 for, obviously, a different purpose. So being able to switched between them and had that uncertainty factor, yeah, that makes it really difficult for certain characters and just for players in general. I'm not sure. I was thinking of Hakan, but I know that. I mean, his Ultra 2 is what, anti-air, and then his Ultra 1 is
Is a
bit like Geef's. I mean, I think it's along the same lines as Geef, probably. But I'd say Rose. I'm gonna go with Pete's though. So, but Hakan and Geef
I think
are
Hakan's
close.
another very good one where I think that not only do you get like the trouble of I can't jump in full stop because of his Ultra 1 or Ultra 2, sorry, but then also I have to fear like dashing forward or like ticks or anything into the Ultra 1 because the Ultra 1 is a more powerful grapple for sure.
This is pretty interesting, Pete. What about Jury, man? What about Jury?
Oh snap! Yeah, well, I don't know, like
because if she gets hit, her bar goes back up, doesn't it?
Oh, good point actually. Wow. So
like, what happens if it goes above? Can you do Ultra 2 in the Ultra 1?
Or could you just do Ultra 1 straight after Ultra 1?
What the hell? That's nuts.
Oh, no, that's actually a pretty good point. Yeah, I forgot about that. And if she gets hit, she still builds bar. Yeah, that's a pretty good one as well.
Oh my god, that would be fucking ridiculous.
But then, what I'm thinking is, how are they going to nerf Ultra? Are they just going to like reduce the time for Ultra 1 if you use both Ultras?
Yeah, or they're just going to stop it going up once you get hit, because...
yeah, I would almost say that's a nerf in and of itself. If they were to keep the time, but then not build any bar whenever you get hit, that's not. But I'm almost certain there's gonna be, there's gonna like half the time or something. But yeah, that's another pretty good point.
Here's an interesting character, Gen. How about Gen? What? Isn't that 4 ultras?
Yep.
Does it?
Yeah,
it could be fucking.
So basically,
I
so
just
this
thought
thing with the
about
Ultra case,
that.
he has one that goes full screen and goes through fireballs. He's got a really good anti-air one. He's got one that you can combo into, pretty much, or one that you can combo into generally, I believe. But it can also be used as a pretty good punish one. Oh well, it's more used as the one for like gray health, and then you got one that you can use in the air to like also punish fireballs and stuff. But yeah, geez, like I remembered Gen, but then I completely forgot when I was doing the video. But yeah, Gen's another one.
Yeah, I mean, holy fucking shit.
Good.
I mean, Jesus, you have 4 ultras. I mean, yeah, talk about a guessing game. Holy shit. Like, I'll be fighting Gen, and the guy chooses that. I'll be like, oh my god. Like, I don't even know where to fucking start.
Like, once he gets his W, or his W, I only use that because that's pretty much the letter that was used in that video. But yeah, basically it's like, if you can't jump, you can't throw fireballs, you can't flipping... you can't do a move while he's in the air. You can't anti-air him. Good point. Keep in mind. If he jumps at you and you try to anti-air him and he does Ultra 2 before that, then you're gonna get hit.
She's gonna win by timeout.
Exactly. You just sit there and don't press a button, okay? And that'll be it.
Just hold down back and just wait for him to fucking do something.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think about. I know this has been going on for quite a while. This one thing, but I mean. I'm trying to think about characters you think definitely just won't benefit from this at all.
Oh,
and it's funny 'cause I think that's a pretty good segue into Sandman's characters. Oh. Sandman, what characters do you play, and are you going to implement this?
I play Honda and Balrog as my 2 staples, I'd say.
Okay, so Honda. I think we all know the answer to this for Honda.
I will not be using that change.
At all.
It depends. If they make the range on his Ultra 2 better, then I suppose...
make it more viable, and so you can't jump out of it whenever you see it coming.
Yeah,
isn't that a confirmed change? Ultra 2 being increased range? I thought I saw that as a confirmed change.
Yeah, it's a confirmed change. But that's not really the big deal about it. It's the frames, the starter frames on it is ridiculous. So every time you see him go into that stupid animation where he starts smiling at you.
Yeah. you just jump, you just hold up, and then you get.
You just hold up, and then just get absolutely belted everywhere. But his Ultra 1 as well, I think that needs buffing as well, to be honest. I think his startup needs to be reduced, and the speed that actually goes needs to be quicker.
I think it should be invincible for the whole thing. Because you know the way
it
should almost be, Chun-Li's. It should almost be like that. Because you can only punish fireballs from it as soon as you like right from the get. Like if I'm like standing, like it's almost in like low forward range of Ryu. If I was the low forward, you walk back about 2 steps and fireball. That's like the only range where you can like punish my fireball from. Whereas if I was stand even like mid screen, then there's no way you can punish it. I can like get a DP off you or something.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. Like what they need to do is realistically, it's only a little change that Honda needs in that, and I think that'll be viable and like. But it's both ultras. That's the worst thing about it, because I know they're not going to buff both. I just, like, it's so annoying. And Balrog as well.
Balrog, same thing pretty much.
Balrog is exactly the same as Honda, basically. But his Dirty Ball is absolutely pathetically useless anyway. Like, no one in their right mind's going to use it. But they need to buff Ultra 1 anyway to give it more damage off that juggle.
I see that that's quite a controversial change because a lot of people hate that flipping.
Yeah, everyone hates
it.
it.
Anyway.
Because when they hear it's no escape, you'll go, oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I disagree. I do think that they should keep the damage the same on when you juggle Ultra 1, but that's just my opinion.
The damage for that juggle.
It only does 220 damage off a juggle.
And
that's off just a normal headbutt. That's just off a regular headbutt. It's not.
I just realised if you do double Ultra, that's going to be reduced to maybe like 110.
Exactly.
It's
so it's
even
pretty
less.
pathetic. So I won't be doing it for them. Like, but on other characters, like say for instance, I'm gonna like have a little mess around with other characters, like Dawson, for instance. His Ultra 1 is pretty good anyway. I'd say it's pretty much like a Rogue Protection thing or a mix-up game. So I don't think that needs to be changed much. But his Ultra 2 is again pretty pathetic.
Shangri-La, flip me.
Yeah, it's pathetic. You can use it as an anti-air, but it's not consistent at all, and it only goes a certain range, and you can jump out of it again. Like once you, it's pretty stupid. But yeah, both my main characters.
Right, let's change the question. Are there any characters you play that would benefit from this?
Would benefit? No. Tomas maybe.
Tomas,
like,
and then Adon you said as well.
Yeah, a bit of Adon as well. Like I think if I'm going to use Ultra 2, if I know I'm going to play a character that I need both Ultras for, I'll probably pick those two. So.
And then
yeah, probably Tomas
like,
would be the biggest
two other
one.
characters you play that I think would both have the same stances, kind of like Guile and Blanca, because they're both kind of characters where they're the Ultra in and of itself do good enough. Like especially Blanca, like if you were to pick Ultra 1 with Blanca, you want that damage. Like, as soon as you hit some of it, you want that big like flipping 450, 500 damage from like the counter hit. Whereas if you were to get that and also a Shout of Earth, which sounds good, so you can get one that goes full screen and one that you can do on Wake Up, but I mean at the same time you're barely getting any damage from it. So I mean, what's the point?
That's the only problem. Like all my characters, like especially I think it's just a charge character thing. Like I think charge characters will suffer from it more than any other.
Yeah, motion characters I think do benefit better from this.
Unfortunately, yeah, I guess that's kind of the thing. I did want to pose a question to the both of you. How do you feel? What the hell? There's some scary things going outside my dorm room. Anyway, the new characters that they've made for Ultra Street Fighter 4, yeah, I almost said 5, 4. Do you think that they've been made with the sole intention, like, to take direct advantage of this two Ultra kind of thing?
I think they might be geared towards that, just so that Capcom can give a little nudge as to like, oh, here these characters do it, so maybe you should use it for the current cast. So
yeah,
I think
exactly.
I could see like one of them being like doing almost like Hugo. I could see having that kind of effect, where Hugo would be almost built specifically for using double ultras. But is that their kind of thing? I'm not too sure, but I mean, obviously we don't know what the ultras are yet, or what all the characters are yet. But I mean, I would almost say they'd be aiming towards that as well.
Yeah, until both ultras come out, then we can't really say whether it will or not. But you probably.
I am interested. I don't know who this character is. I'm interested in playing the guy with the grenades on his jacket with the staff. Yeah, I am interested in playing him. Sorry, I said Hugo the other day, Sandman. I meant Relento.
Alright, it's okay.
Yeah.
Alright,
yeah.
I guess we've talked enough about the double ultra, and I guess we'll talk about one that I have more of a strong opinion on, and this is the red focus that they're talking about. And once again, I'll head on over to our correspondent Combo Fiend for the full rundown as to what red focus entails.
Next up is red focus. Consider this mechanic to be a juiced up focus attack. It currently absorbs multiple attacks, yet is still subject to the same weaknesses that our regular focus attack encounters, such as armor break attacks and throws. There are other parameters that are still being decided, but that's where all of you and your feedback will come into play.
Okay, red focus. This was one that was rumored for quite a while, and now it's been announced.
Lord.
And the first thing I want to ask is, what's going to be the input for this? Because I have no idea.
I think it's going to be the same as a cross Tekken thing, like
jab and heavy punch or something out there.
Yeah, like quarter circle forward and both like focus or something. I don't know.
Yeah, good point. Because obviously it can't be two buttons, I don't think, because two lights are throw, two mediums are focus attack regular, and two heavies are taunt, which is obviously the most important move in the game. So I mean, you kind of. So I mean, I'm wondering what they're going to do. Some people were saying like down plus focus attack. Some people were saying like this is pretty ridiculous. Some people were saying you do focus attack and then you like parry the flipping hits. Like what the flipping heck? No, but still. Alright, so yeah, basically what Comafine was saying there is that the red focus will absorb more than one hit. It'll absorb as many hits as it takes, pretty much. But it does
Do
suffer
you
from
think
armor
you
breaks. And
do focus and then you press like I don't know, heavy punch, heavy kick? You press certain inputs as you hold
I'm not
focus,
sure.
mate.
I think the actual. I can't. Unfortunately, I can't replay it. In fact, well, I could technically, but it'll be a bit weird. I could replay the video and then see what happens to see what happens in the video, as to what it looks like. So is it red for the whole thing, or is it initially grey and then? I'm not too sure. I think it does start red though, because I think if you're burning the 2 bars, then
As I say, I think it'll just be emotion plus focus. That'll be the easiest way to do it.
I would argue with Sandman here and say yeah, I would say like I would say that's probably the most logical thing to do now, because I mean you've kind of got all the unless it's like select or some crap like that, which I doubt. But I mean I think it'll probably will be something like other. But then like I said, it costs 2 bars. What are your thoughts about that? That it costs 2 bars of your super to do it.
Well, depending on like, I don't know, like it's not worth wasting your super though, is it? Like,
Well, depending on the
because
character, of course. Again, like some characters you can just burn them out if you really want to. You'll just build it all like flipping Kami. You'll just build all the meter back, within seconds.
Well, it depends on the situation too, right? I mean, depending on where you are standing in a match, whether you need the super to win, or maybe someone's pressing down on you and you need to use that focus to avoid a move that's going to do more than one hit, perhaps.
I'm just wondering.
yeah, I suppose it could save your life if you're about to die. I suppose.
Yeah.
But the thing is, all of the hits that you absorb, come to your health as grey. So if you don't have the grey health to absorb it all, then you'll die. Pretty much. Mid flipping red focus. How embarrassing.
Another thing as well, how much meter is it going to build? Because when you focus attacks, it gives you meter, doesn't it? Like ultra meter. So will that affect?
Oh
like, the
yeah,
ultra?
probably would actually. Oh, can you imagine like red focusing, like Ken, as you seen Ken there, he did like jumping fierce, standing fierce uppercut. Can you imagine focusing all of that? Like how much meter would that give you? But the thing is, you would have to sit there and wait for all that grey health to come back slowly. So you better pray that you've got a flipping long combo to to get rid of the opponent for that long while your health regenerates. So I mean. And also, people were saying, what about their nickname of the RFADC, the Red Focus Attack Dash Cancel, where it takes all your super, but you gotta like absorb anything and then cancel it into a combo.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fucking. I mean, in my opinion, that's. I don't know. It's just kind of ridiculous. Like when I'll give everyone a little story. When I first started playing Super Street Fighter 4, the regular Ultra, not the regular Ultra, the regular Focus pissed me off and how it worked. Now with this red focus, and we'll get to specifically why I hate it, specifically with the character I named.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah,
it's just. Well, I don't want to talk about that now, but just in general, it's just I don't know. It's gonna put people in a situation where it's just gonna be there's gonna be so much unpredictability with just everything, just with certain moves and stuff. Being able to focus through so much stuff, and then being able to go into combos and. Too many possibilities are going through my head, but
I guess.
How about
you? I guess you have to flip in. I guess you have to look at your opponent and see if they're going to red focus, and you have to immediately cancel in an armor breaking move, which, needless to say, is easier for some characters than for others. What I'm just thinking, Sandman, is 100 hand slap armor breaking?
No, you no, it's not. No.
So you can literally just red focus the whole thing.
Yeah, which is annoying.
And then you
Like
can go
unless
into like an
unless I've
insane
got a
combo.
super, I could cancel it into super and like smash it.
Yeah, but it's stuff like that you have to do.
That's it,
like
like-
if you do red focus, you have to burn the super to kill him. But then, granted, you're gonna get so much damage because his grey health all depleted.
I suppose, and then when you get hit by a jab, then all your health's gone. So
I guess one of
But-
those chicken games is they can drop the red focus anytime they like, but you can cancel the super at certain points during the 100 hands. So I mean, this is a case of who's gonna release it first. Is your super gonna come out first, or is their red focus gonna end first? So I mean.
I
one of
think
those.
with this though, I think they're going to change certain moves and like, are they going to be armor breaking or not? I think different moves will be armor breaking now.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to think. Okay, for our characters, Ryu obviously Tatsu's armor breaking, and that's about it. Yeah, I think that's like the only movie he has that's armor
Like
breaking.
say for instance with Bison for Chris, I think they're going to make his heel press armor breaking.
Really? You think that?
Yeah.
You
Well,
see,
because
the-
that was one of my main fears. Like I was about to say to you guys, I was gonna say all I can say is you guys better start blocking a lot because I'm gonna be Psycho Crushing all the fucking time now. Like you thought I abused Psycho Crusher like before. I'm gonna because just now it's like what point is there? Because with people, if they've got like a super bar. That their strategy is to just block that. Like if they see me doing that, like charging, and I try to do like a knee press to judge the distance in the frames, and they block that whole thing, and then they can go into their combo string. Like I'm fucking dead. Like I'd rather Psycho Crusher and break the armor. Like honestly, I
Like,
don't
did
know.
you see have you shown a video yet? What happens when the actual red focus hits?
yeah, I think so.
What
Yeah, that-
happens to the character? Does he just fall straight to the ground like a
Yeah, it's
normal
just like
focus?
it's just like a regular focus crumple,
Hmm.
and then you
See-
dash forward, and then you do your combo, basically.
See,
For
I would have
example, like for that
expected
case,
something like the character to fly across the screen or something, so you can't land a massive combo after a red focus.
yeah, I mean,
like,
I guess it
probably-
costs 2 bars, so I mean, I guess if you're gonna burn that much meter, you want like the full combo afterwards, you know. So I mean, it's a very weird change. It's definitely weird of a change, isn't it?
I
Like,
don't think it's a needed change though. I don't think
don't
that's
think
a
it's
change
needed
that was
either.
actually needed.
like if you want to flip and parry, by all means, give them the parry, but don't give us, a move that you can just hold for the whole thing, and then just like absorb anything. So
Like
I
if
mean,
they added the parry, that would have been so much more interesting.
I guess then people would have just like went crazy and said, "Oh, this is like Street Fighter 4 Third Strike," some crap like that there. But I mean, the red focus just seems like something that just seems so clunky, and it'll seem like all right. Let's give a matchup example, okay? Let's give the perfect example of Ree versus Honda, because we've never played that matchup before, okay? What would provoke either of us to just do a red focus out of the blue? Like think about it. We have say like we both have 3 bars of meter, okay? Like if we're just standing mid-screen, I'm throwing fireballs, you're neutral jump flipping stop signing, okay, and stuff. What's gonna provoke either of us from just red focusing out of the blue?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, when are you ever gonna do it? Like I would
Like you
almost
need
say,
your meter for FADC Ultra 1, don't you?
yeah, exactly. So I mean, I don't want to burn that because if you jump at me, that's a free ultra for me, pretty much. So why would I burn the red mirror? I would almost say, here's something I just thought of. Do you think people will be red focusing a lot on wake up? So as soon as you get up, just red focus, and then like if they do like a ridiculous like short or jab or something, then you can just absorb all of them and then hit them.
Yeah, even like absorb a jump in, then like a block string after, and then.
Yeah, but then I guess with a jump in, they'll see the red focus and I'll be like, alright, like if I was to do that, I'd be like, alright, straight into the Tatsu to break it. Or
Yeah,
like,
Is the startup time the same as a regular focus? So as
Yeah,
you're
I think
doing
so.
it, it's just yeah.
I think
Okay.
so. Either that or they're gonna make it like slower or something. I haven't seen any physical changes to it. It just looks identical to the focus except it's red and absorbs a lot more. So I mean, also one thing I was thinking of was they never showed the aftermath of the uppercut. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Ken or Ryu does an uppercut and you just stand there, do they not go to the other side of you if you focus?
Yeah, like it'd be like, yeah, then look to the other side. When
So
you
that
see,
means
you
you
would
have
have
to
dash
dash
out of it.
cancel it, otherwise you're not gonna hit anything. And then that's 2 bars, and you're just gonna get a generic combo. You're not gonna get like the crumple and then the combo afterwards. So I guess you have to think about like
But so,
directions.
yeah, so if you finish the focus, you're going to end up in that animation, even if the character's not there. Of you trying to hit them, like reuse.
Yeah, like Ree's thing
Focus
that
at
I
the
was
end.
saying. So you have to
But
dash
if you
cancel.
cancel
That's a
that,
good
that's
point.
going to cost you 2 bars.
Yeah.
Wow, that's.
So I guess just off a grey health and meter, like I guess that's another thing where some people might use it and then backdash and not even like say for example like Rose, like if Rose was the red focus, she would just red focus and then just dash out of there. She wouldn't want the combo. She just wants the meter.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't try and go for the crumple or anything, you just go straight, backdash or whatever. So then Rose can be like a machine. Like, Rose is gonna excel with these changes, I swear. But at the
Oh
same
my
time,
God.
at the
Like
same
fall-
time,
New
Freeze
top tier
round.
character.
yeah, at the same time though, that's 2 super meters, and she obviously relies so much on her super that. Do you really want to burn 2 super meters just for an ultra? It's almost like, do you want to sacrifice super for ultra, or do you want to stick with a super and then having to sit there and block? Like, for example, think about a character like Cammy. Like Cammy's like spiral arrow. Like it isn't armor breaking. So if you were to sit there, if you were to do dive kick, crouching strong or crouching forward into the spiral arrow, that's what 1, 2, 3, 4 hits that you can red focus and then get the crumple afterwards. Either that, or I'm wondering. Sure, I don't think you'd hit the full thing. She's airborne, isn't she? Whenever she does the spiral arrow.
Yeah.
So that means if you were to crumple her, she'd just do little hops. You wouldn't even get the crumple combo. You just have
That's
to
it.
sit
Like
there
she'd
and
like
tank it.
float, wouldn't she?
Huh.
I would almost say they might. So once again, like they might buff slash nerf characters specifically for these mechanics, which is kind
For
of
like a
weird.
For like a charge character, would it, like the situation you gave with Rose got me thinking, for a charge character, would they want to get out of use it for getting out of situations so that they can go to their charge and then follow up with a move?
Well, it
Do you
depends on
think?
their backdash speed. For someone like Bison, then maybe, because his backdash isn't that bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, for
That's what I
someone
was
like
thinking.
I'm thinking like, or Chun-Li. Chun-Li might be really like Chun-Li might really benefit from this. But then someone like I'm trying to think of a character that has really slow like dashing speed, like Blanca,
Honda.
like Blanca, or Honda especially. Yeah.
God, Honda.
Yeah, like once again, Sandman, is Honda gonna benefit from any of this?
No, like I don't see the point of doing it. I suppose he doesn't really use meter, but EX headbutt's a big thing for Honda, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I don't think using red. I don't see how red focus would help him that much. You know,
And for the most part, people like to keep Honda mid-screen. So it's not as if you're going to be absorbing a lot. You'll absorb like maybe like you're pretty much using focus attacks, and that's about it. Unless you get hit by like an EX fireball, but you're not going to burn 2 meters just to not get hit by an EX fireball. You know, that's kind of profound.
yeah, exactly. So I don't think of the game. Like obviously we don't know the properties of it yet, like properly. So how it might help.
It's going to
but-
change the aspects of the game quite dramatically, because I remember seeing some Evo matches where that was always the thing. Like, what was it? Like even the championship Evo, Akuma versus Gen. Akuma just throwing his fireballs and Gen being focusing through them, and then he mixes up with the EX because you can't. But with red focus, that's going to change that game a little bit of how you focus through stuff and how you deal with it. So.
Yes, I'm still. So in general, is it a change we really need?
No, I don't think so. No.
They could have been so much better without it. I think. Like, this is almost.
I don't.
Like it's almost like one of those like quick combo things from Street Fighter Cross Tekken, where it's like you don't really need to use it.
Yeah,
so
as I said before, I would have much prefer the parry.
I would have much preferred just nothing, to be honest. Like red focus
Yeah.
was one of the things that
it's
was heard rumored, and then I was just like, please don't let this happen. And sure enough, they let it happen.
Well, like
Nice.
added the second super or something.
Yeah.
A
So-
second super, wow, that would have been, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I agree. I don't think it's needed, but I do like Sandman's suggestions here. He offered earlier the third ultra, a second super. Wow, I think that would be interesting. That would be just as better as just as good as having this red focus or choosing both ultras. Honestly, if you
How
had the
ironic would
second
that be if
super.
they did that and it'd be like Super Street Fighter 4 had 2 ultras and Ultra Street Fighter 4 had 2 supers? It'd be really weird for transition, but yeah. So that's pretty much it for. I guess before we go, we're gonna like transition into some. I'm gonna go into screen capture mode. Boom, here we go. So this is basically these are some articles that we found here. I guess we'll start with the one that isn't really as significant, probably. Let's go to the statistic one. Almost 60% of our readers feel they'll use the double ultra mechanic. I guess people are only saying that because it's a new thing. People like to like whenever AE first came out, everyone was using like Yun Yang, Oni, and Evil Ryu. Especially Evil Ryu. Like I've seen so many Evil Ryu players like that first day of us playing ranked. So I mean, it's one of those things where people will probably use it for like a week, and then no one else will ever use it. And I just realized something. Hold on. Yep, I just realized something. The Skype call isn't even being read here. Okay, there we go. We're back. Sorry about that. Sorry for the flipping. Yep. Okay. Now they can hear you, even though you weren't saying anything. But just in case. So yeah, there we go. That's just something general. What do you guys think of this? Do you think it's a general thing? Do you think people legitimately like this change, or do you think it's just one of those like hype things where people are only excited about it now and it's just been released?
Yeah, I think it'll die soon. Like I don't know. I think everyone is going to resort back to their Ultra One and get back traditional again because, like,
Oh, wow,
people
this is
like
pretty
damage. People like damage, don't they?
This is pretty funny. On the top players way Ultra Street Fighter 4 Red Focus and Double Ultra announcements, somebody made a comment, Rome MC, rather they made a third Ultra option than pick both. So people do agree with you, Sandman. There is
general,
a
that was like the general opinion as well. Actually,
Yeah.
one good point I could say is Sandman. This is quite similar, surely, to the transition from vanilla to super. Whenever the second ultra was introduced, did you kind of notice a big flurry of people using the second ultra just for the sake of it, and then resorting back to the first ultra? How long do you think it took?
Yeah,
roughly?
I reckon it was about a couple of months until everyone started going back.
But then for the
Because
most
everyone
part,
was trying to
still
figure
using,
out like all different combos to get into the ultra. Was it worth using against certain characters and learning the matchups and stuff again? But
So how many Dirty Bull Balrogs did you play during that period of time?
I played quite a few. To be honest, I was one of them.
Oh jeez.
I was like, oh, this dirty bull, I'm gonna start headbutting guys and stepping on toes. But, but it didn't really work out that well. So I was just like, this ultra sucks my balls. So I'm getting rid of that.
Jeez, alright. Well, there you go. So, just a general thing. So, if I was to answer that, I'd probably say yes. But that's only because the majority of my characters would benefit from it. But that's just me. Obviously, that's just me because the two of you kind of said, no, it's not really for my characters. But
because we both rely more on the charge well, because our mains are charge characters, and it would hurt them in so many ways, and it's just not needed, especially for the ultras, as we said before. So.
Yeah. Alright, and then the second thing is, like Chris was saying, top players weigh in on the Ultra Street Fighter 4. Now this is quite interesting. I guess we'll talk about these individually. Okay, so E.G. Ricky Ortiz says, "Wow, I can't see. Good start. Wow, I can see Red Focus being a useful offensive-defensive tool in a lot of situations, adding a new layer of mix-up to Street Fighter 4. Thoughts? I feel it will feel broken at first, but everyone will learn to adapt to it and come to realize it wasn't bad to begin with. Give it time. Keep in mind, Ricky Ortiz means Rufus." Okay, so I'm just gonna say what each character means, so that it might, it might make their opinion a bit biased, but nevertheless. So what do you think about that? So he just kind of thinks that it can be used as offensive and defensive for Red Focus, and then people will think it will be broken. I kind of disagree. I think it's almost like under broken. Like no one's gonna use it. I don't think, unless it's like a very specific situation, like Bison.
People are gonna find ways to use it in some. I mean, having been on ranked quite frequently, trying to level up and get player points and stuff, seeing the things that people abuse, I definitely think people are going to find some way to abuse the Red Focus. That's my prediction.
Yeah, and what about you, Sam? What do you think about Ortiz's comment?
I think him being a Rufus player, I can see why he likes it.
Yeah,
I can see why he likes it, but with him, I don't know, like, for instance, like, we're gonna read Pdaaaawg now, his opinion will be totally different on, like, everything than Ricky Ortiz will be because of the character differences. So, I'm pretty much gonna be, like, against whatever he's saying, so, because I'm totally different than him, you know what I mean? Like, my character's totally different, so.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind that Rufus, pretty much all of his moves are armor breaking, except for Snake Strike.
Exactly,
Kick and Glider Tornado are both armor breaking, so he'll have no problem with fighting away from it. Yeah, Pdaaaawg is next, and he says, "People don't realize that Balrog's Ultra 2 has more range in Ultra Street Fighter 4, so he'll punish a lot of things, so double Ultra will probably be better." Sandman, I don't think any of us have to speak. Sandman, what do you think about this? Like, he thinks that double Ultra will be better for Balrog.
Well, if they make it quicker, I can see where he's coming from. Like, if they make the startup quicker and stuff, where like everything that you can punish with that, though, you can punish with Ultra 1, so it's not a bad thing. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that useful because the range is shitty anyway, and the frame stops on it. You can jump out of it anyway, even if you're doing a move. Like, unless you make it where you can punish like sweeps, then
it's kind of funny because I brought up this point about. Remember when we were talking about this, and I said in regards to Honda, I brought up the fact that one of the changes is to Honda's Ultra 2 is the range, just like Pdaaaawg said it's going to be like that for Balrog. So it's kind of funny. I brought up the same point just for Honda, and as we've said, their situations for their Ultras are kind of the same. So, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be a matter of trying it out. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the damage as well. If they're going to half the damage.
And Dirty Bull does any damage. I guess they'll have to half the stun, I guess, for Dirty Bull.
That's what I mean. Like, if there's no damage in hardly any stun, then there's no point in using the Ultra, is it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, unless I'm going to pick Ultra 2 on its own and they make it better that way, then give it a shot, but both Ultras, nah.
Razor Latif says he's a Viper player. Oh yeah, obviously Pdaaaawg plays Balrog. I don't think we need to say that. Latif plays Viper, and he says, "I don't like the double Ultra feature in Ultra Street Fighter 4, even with the damage nerf. Grapplers will be overpowered." Laughs. Gotta wait for some location test footage. So obviously, see Viper, not a fan of this change. Needless to say. Because that matchup is bad enough as it is. Adding double Ultra to it would probably make it even worse. You know, so I can see where it's coming from.
That Ultra does everything anyway.
Well, yeah,
in Ultra 1, so no one uses Ultra 2 anyway because it's pointless.
But yeah, so I mean, so Latif basically just thinks that grapplers will, like he thinks that grapplers will have a much bigger advantage than any other character for this, and we've kind of already said that that's kind of true. the grapplers will benefit from this quite a lot. Like Hakan, Zangief, T-Hawk, Abel kind of, I guess, but I mean not so much. And Hugo will probably benefit a lot from this as well whenever we hear more about his stuff. So I mean we can see where he's coming from. Okay, Justin Wong has quite a lot to say about this. Justin Wong also a Rufus player. Even though you guys think Red Focus will abusable, obviously that should be will be, you will learn to react and do armor breaking moves instead. Obviously, come from a Rufus player, that's kind of easy for him to say, but
yeah.
Also, charged characters will have an easier time beating Red Focus due to their very good armor breaking moves. Hint, hint, Chris. It's EX Psycho Crusher, Blanca Ball. But Red Focus will also help against characters where you normally cannot focus on, like Kami's meaning kick into Drill, Yang's meaning kick into Rekkas, etc. Which is a point that I brought up a little bit about how you can do kind of stuff like that there. But yeah, so he basically thinks that some characters will be able to break focuses a lot better than others, and he thinks the charged characters, and it's better to use it against characters with like Rekka type moves. So I mean,
like even grapplers again, grapplers would be good against Red Focus, because if you're starting to abuse like Red Focus to stop
SPD.
block strings, you just get SPD'd.
Yeah, it's SPD all day. That's all you need, basically.
And then I can see what he's coming about the charge characters though. Like, for instance, Honda's EX Headbutt does a lot of like.
And it goes really quickly as well, so there's
yeah,
very little time to
really
backdash
fast
from it.
And
I guess EX Crusher arguably is also quite fast, but I mean, there's no one near as fast as the Headbutt. But I mean, I guess he's more just saying that if you see someone doing it and you're just sitting there, then go for the armor breaking move, as opposed to if you're right up in their face and they do Red Focus, what are you gonna do?
Well, I random Psycho Crusher all the time, so that's not going to be a problem.
Well, I think you've known this chain for a long time. I think you've known this chain since February, and you've just been practicing all this time.
Yes,
and
all those times you guys were like, "What? Don't do that. No, don't random Psycho Crusher." I knew all along. Yes.
Of course. All right. And finally,
God.
Wolfcrone, another Viper player, says, when you think about it, hurting your opponent in Ultra Street Fighter 4 when playing against Zangief gives you more restriction and makes the fight harder when he has double Ultra. Well.
It's
okay.
Yeah.
Japanese arcade version of Ultra Street Fighter 4 is going to be released in April of 2014. Okay, this is quite a big one. This is announced how many days after the whole thing was happening? It happened about 3 or 4 days after the announcement of the Red Focus and whatnot. So basically, this is kind of ambiguous because we're not too sure what this means. If you're of Sandman's age and caliber of Street Fighter, you'll know that the Japanese had Street Fighter 4 before anyone else. Vanilla Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, they got Vanilla Street Fighter 4 like 3 years before it came out on console.
Yeah, and then so they had so much time to prepare and stuff. People are thinking that it's probably going to be like this for this game as well. That it's going to come out for Japanese arcades first, and then it's going to be out to console. But then think about that. That's April 2014 that is not going to be released until. And that's what, like, flipping, how many months? Like 6, I think? Something like that there?
Yeah.
Wasn't this a spring 2014 release date originally?
Yeah,
at EVO?
At EVO they said spring 2014, and now they're not going to release the arcade version until spring 2014. The very end of, well, not the very end of spring, but I mean...
I'm going to say it.
I
think that they're going to bring out the arcade version then in April, like for Japan, and then they're going to bring it out around Christmas, I think.
Next year?
Yeah.
Now keep in mind that next gen consoles are like literally in like a week and
this
a half.
This was something I wanted to speak about. How like my knowledge of Street Fighter is somewhat limited in some parts and whatnot, but I definitely know about from all the stuff I've done on my channel about release dates and things with companies and the games that they release. In terms of releasing Ultra Street Fighter 4, you're already releasing Ultra Street Fighter 4 after the PS4 and Xbox One come out. That's a given because it was originally shown at EVO as coming out in spring 2014. So it was going to be after that anyway from the start. But now with this quote-unquote delay, now that we know the range for Japan, like you're going to be going like literally a year. I remember at E3, Microsoft said the 360, and then I think Sony said this too, the PS3, they had about a year on their life cycle. Like, one more year, and then everyone's going to be forced to kind of go over to Xbox One and PS4 because that's where the majority of the games are coming out. We have to assume that Capcom's going to make titles for the next gen. So how long are they going to keep this Ultra Street Fighter 4 in the bag? Because think about it, it's an addition to a game that came out in, 2009-10? So, like, honestly, like, and we all know kind of Capcom's financial situation. So if you want the maximum number of people to buy this, and I'm sure the people who have stuck with Street Fighter 4 will buy this, but if you want people to buy it, release it earlier in 2014 while the consoles are still new and people are still trying to make up their mind about what console they want, while they're waiting to make up their mind, oh, here's an add-on for Street Fighter 4. Why would you release it so late when other games for the new consoles come out and you basically push this game? Oh, look, Ultra Street Fighter 4 came out. Well, that's great. Xbox One and PS4 have all these new titles in 1080p next gen. Like, it's going to get to the point where it not matter. Also, like a game like Killer Instinct, isn't that like a next gen fighter that's coming out like pretty soon? So there's going to be other fighters that are going to compete with it. So I'm just thinking it from that perspective.
Yeah, I've got a feeling they're going to bring it out on disc. If they're going to port it over, they're going to have to make it DLC or something, like straight to download.
Yeah, probably be something together. I'm just wondering what the price is going to be, because weren't they saying that this is going to be a final free download? It's almost inevitable this isn't going to be free because of all the stuff they're adding to it. Capcom's ways. It's like, oh, if we add more than a balance change, you have to pay for it, pretty much. That's all of our stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this Fightin Talk. We'll probably have another one whenever new stuff gets announced, like flipping more stuff that might just break the game. We never know. So, I mean, until then, my name's Pdaaaawg. They've been my special guests, TheAireaidLord and Sandman. I'm flipping drained at the moment. My voice is killing me. Surprisingly.
I'm ready for some Street Fighter. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, are you? Oh, snap. All right. Maybe we may have some post Street Fighter matches. You never know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so
all that talk kind of got me in the mood. So.
All right. So I guess we'll see you guys for some Street Fighter, perhaps if I upload after this. You never know what will happen. But yeah. So my name's Pdaaaawg. They've been Sandman and TheAireaidLord, and we'll see you for some more footage wherever. So see you guys then.